Hello and welcome. This is going to be a message for the full moon. It's a general, so take what resonates and leave the rest. But what I was kind of getting in meditation is it's kind of like, okay, what baggage have you been carrying, like up to this point, where those energy signatures or those blocks or those impediments or those areas where you don't feel like you're heard, where are you like kind of openly saying, okay, this has been a battle up to this point and I'm no longer taking X, Y, and Z. I see it's it's interesting too, because it's like when you kind of come online, and that's kind of what they're showing me, right? Like you have a different delineation of energies that you're trying to discern from. And sometimes, what does not suit you or what you're attempting to pick up, right? Like in your heart center or in your, it's interesting because it's like, it's this shift into like your own inner knowledge, your own inner pathway, like what you truly want to design in this next phase, right? And kind of releasing like this. They're showing me a replication. It's kind of like they used to show this to me in the past, like at the beginning of my pathway, is like when you don't necessarily realize, or you realize, whoa, this is a reflection of like a portion that still lives in me, right? It's kind of earth shaking. It's an understanding of like, okay, how do you get into a state where you're humble on your own journey, that you understand the portions you played, right? Knowingly, unknowingly, because sometimes things can happen during our impediments of rest, right? Or where we feel like our journey is long or arduous, or where we feel like we have the desires for the answers, for the prosperity, for the open journey, right? Like that lighthearted feeling of like open to possibilities, but like the mirror always ends up showing itself in the reflection, right? So if you are thinking ill intent of self or ill intent of another, it's going to be reflected in the matrix. And it just kind of depends on like how heartily you are aligned with like the what's been coming to you. Because just as you've been a magnet and attracting, so have you been um it's kind of like that conscious creator that is um not also understanding the polarity of attraction to like the negative behavior traits, right? And so like through the release and possibility of like what is written for you, like there's this reflection in this divine intervention, right? In the piece of like, okay, ready for what's next. And they're saying that this is something that you have replicated like in numerous lifetimes. Whatever it is that you are currently like battling through, it's kind of like it could be financial, it could be, um, sorry, yeah, it's a pattern of recognition through like your family lineage. Maybe the how you live, maybe tight quarters, maybe relying on divine intervention. It's again your religion. It's the way that you commune with the divine, how you walk in true divine faith in divinity, right? And so like something that like kind of has allowed your journey to go on whatever journey it needed to go on to, right? It's the divine justice, divine intervention. It's again, it's kind of like it's kind of funny. It's interesting actually, because they're just saying like whatever comes up must come down, and it's that. I think it's called the law of relativity, or like where it's essentially you're on the top of the scale and that wheel is going to bottom out, right? So whoever's been on the bottom is now going to the top, and whoever's been on top is now going to the bottom. There's like a shift in energetic frequencies. It's kind of like there's a rebalancing in alignment if there's been an offset. And it's kind of like it's going to open you up to like what the divine has always had intended for you. It's the somebody prophesized over your lifetime, and maybe you're actually like kind of starting to recollect it now, is what they're saying. Um, Feels like a very much a male energy, but that can it's kind of what's coming through. It could have relevance to like. Mm, it's kind of like understanding the power of like the frequencies, or like possibly where like a taming of, it's almost like somebody didn't want to be tamed, or didn't necessarily want to take the role that was intended for them, or didn't quite realize like an elevation of another. I don't know. It's really kind of wild. Um, it's kind of like having the inner knowing, but then still choosing wrong, choosing a pathway incorrectly. I don't know. It's that birth and the reincarnation cycle, but I also wanted to say the recycle, right? So like the coming in many times incarnated, the ceremony of life. I mean, maybe you're starting to just finally get tapped into the what your journey is, or what your gathering is, what your soul's consciousness is, right? Like the energy within self. It's kind of like that balancing, rebalancing. And it's kind of like not realizing that like you were always on the journey following the star. It's like to the temple of your own divine truth, like the what is in resonance with your alignment. Like what are the codes, the consciousness codes that you are asking for upgrades in, or asking to be broken, if there were any, contracts that bound you to a lower frequency, or a repeat of a frequency, or a it's kind of like you're unable to turn the channel, mm, so that you can get out of that frequency. It's kind of like, or maybe you have, and you're going to teach that to other people, right? It says channel your knowledge and critical judgment. So maybe that's something that you're going to be. No, I just wanted one. This is like a whole book. And maybe you're doing it through astral travel, or through like alignment with your guides. Um, it's kind of like finally stepping into like the what you knew was always your truth all along, and finally like no longer allowing yourself to hold back the what you truly desire to incarnate with, or energetic frequency, right, because like sometimes it's really hard to co-collaborate with people that don't speak the language, right? So if someone hasn't done all the enlightenment and all the legwork, or kind of balanced in that whole like frequency of like truth, right? Whatever it may be for that individual, like there's some kind of co-residence that's making it feel like home. Like, so after you rest, mm, and you put it on the altar, right? Like whatever you've been holding on to, whatever's been like keeping you out of alignment from what the divine had in store for you, like whatever that may be, right? Whatever that portion of transformation, whatever you didn't want to acknowledge through whatever you were co-collaborating, or maybe you did, right? Maybe it's a flip, maybe it's understanding of the dichotomy of the different pathways that weren't chosen in this lifetime, or the ones that were possibilities. It's understanding the bridge between the gap. It's they're kind of showing me the way Doctor Strange walked up to the door and like shifted it, and it was like the Mojave Desert, and then he shifted it again and it was like Antarctica, and then he shifted it again. And it's like that, knowing what channel you're on, what knowledge you're tapping into through the divine, like how the divine is like running its energy through you, how you're aligned and connected to the earth. Um, it's kind of like once you have a new set point, or you have a new collaborative energy, like your overflow, like it's like then God like overflows your cup. It's kind of like it's living in the moment, in the prosperity of it's already done, right? It's already been given. It's already, that door's already aligned. It's the shift in your awareness that's going to like open up this next gateway, right? I just want one. And who knows? I mean, maybe you're going to be collectively working with like thought, with the energy of, or with the synchronicity um, of hidden knowledge. It's kind of like those that have attempted to change your pathway, those gaps, and they just said gapes. I don't know. Um, it's like they're going to kind of shift, but it's going to be a shift that's going to like ripple through the collective. It's there's enough people that are kind of rejecting the timelines that have been chosen. I don't know, take it for what it resonates, right? But there's something that you've been like on the brink of making a change about, like you need to take the karmic clearing. Okay. So anything from the seventh ray below, let's go ahead, and if you guys don't know, go ahead and ground your energy, right? Just throw your grounding cord down, and honor the connection to Gaia, right? You're here having a human experience in a physical body, and anything knowingly, unknowingly needs to release. And so if you've been having, if any of this has been resonating with you, like just honor the what's come up, and allow your heart center to kind of shift into a state of gratitude, right? Into a state of alignment, into a higher timeline. It's allowing the karma that's kept you in a state of frustration or in a state of repeat, that's kept you from continually stepping into the changes you need to make to proceed forward. It's kind of like there's an activation of like the warriors, and they're showing me like armies of women like kind of coming into like their, and a lot of cherubim, for angelic waking up. And it's kind of like they're now realizing that they're angels walking in human form. It's kind of like there's this realignment of like a ripple through the collective consciousness of where the soul is seated, if that makes sense. Like there's going to be an energetic frequency that's going to align with this next wave of whoever's waking up. There's going to be a mass karmic clearing. There's going to be almost like this unstable wobble that's going to happen. And it's not necessarily like a movement through the earth, but that's kind of because they're showing me like a ripple of energetic frequency. But it's in its energy form, but it's like a water, the way water moves. The energy is going to ripple the same way. And like through that, like any of the bits and pieces that you're like holding on to that's keeping you from living a heart-centered consciousness, right? Like wherever you're wounded. Wow. Um, those little cords, those I cords, those impediments, those little bits and pieces are going to be dissolving into nothingness, right? It's kind of like laying it all on the altar, laying it all on like whatever is released. Maybe it's because we're in a Mercury, like we're in Mercury retro, and possibly that's the stuff that's been coming up over the last 3 weeks, is like the alignment of like, okay, these are the battles I've been in. This is where my repeat patterns have come from. And as I'm recreating the joint of prosperity of evolution within where I want to go, right? Like the where I've been and the where I want to go, and what I need from the creator to get me into this state, right? This is my desire. And it's kind of like, through the identification and release of like whatever you've yet to fulfill in this lifetime, or where you've been in a state of fight or flight, or where there's a desire that's put on your heart, it's kind of like there's a reshift of your echolocator. It's kind of like if you've been without soul family, like you're going to start feeling more soul family. If you've been in a state of financial lack, you're going to be in a financial state of abundance. Like God is going to open up the pathway if you put the desire and make the action to move forward, right? For those of you that have sit in a state of stagnancy, like enter into the chamber of transformation, enter into like your own waiting pool, allow yourself to like be born again into the vibrational frequency of what you want alignment to. And those that have had those blocks and limitations, like name it and claim it and say, this belongs to someone else. This is not mine. It doesn't live here anymore, right? And it's like as you're stepping into like your what you desire and what you command, and how you're opening up the ways and the wave of like the divine to move you, right? Step into that. Maybe you want to use an affirmation. This is for health, and it says, today I'm filled with the unlimited strength, life, and energy. My mind is sharp and stable. I grow wiser daily. I welcome feelings of comfort and peace into my body. There is no room for dis-ease. And release it. Take a deep breath and like see whatever that point is and just say it's time for it to go. Take a deep breath and let it go. Allow your aura to get bright. And pull in gold. We want your aura to get filled with gold. So if there are any gaps, any impediments, anything that has happened outside of you over the last 3 weeks, to kind of allow you to soften your heart, right? To come into a state of alignment within self, to go towards the things that you are unsure of, even though it's exactly what you need, right? And honor that journey up into that state, up into that to that. And they're saying it's like almost like a void of release, a void of like, okay, that door closed. I didn't foresee that door closed. So now what? Show me. It's this or something better. Like, you know, my heart, put me in the way where I don't see the way, right? Where I don't see the answer to the pathway. And it's you walking with vibrational confidence, you asking and saying, I'm choosing. Like it's that whole like, It's like compassionate, like masculinity. It's yeah, the expression of like of the higher timeline. It's like not letting yourself, it's yeah, okay, thank you. They're saying it's like you doing a ritual with this moon and understanding like between the full moon and the new moon in this sign. You want to, and whatever it comes for you, right? We're going through a full moon like now, but you may find this down the road during a full moon. And so you want to do it if it's a full moon on the new moon. Pick something that you want to create, right? What are you releasing in that process, like, and what are you asking to come through to you? And then you have to get out of the way and let spirit move. You have to allow the divine to like give it to you, and stop saying no and start getting in the vibrational frequency of like, it makes me uncomfortable, but I'm going to jump out of my norm, right? And it's like through, because again, somebody already knows like the way. Somebody already has like, it's almost like somebody heard like God direct or God say, hey, your journey's going to be an arduous journey, but at the end of it, like, stay steadfast because these are the pathways and this is what's going to be opening. Like, you know exactly where you're supposed to be at. And it's like through this last little bit of whatever you've been holding on to that's been anchored by your lineage, right? Like that means that you have two or more people in your lineage that has experienced whatever it is that you're currently working through. Um, Sorry, I'm just kind of like, because they're saying that there's some kind of a journey through transformation that maybe you didn't see coming the way it came. But you didn't realize that like at this point you are said transformation, right? It's kind of like, it happened without you even realizing it. And maybe that's the reflectiveness of like the clearing. And Atman vision, to me, this is like the polarity of the in between. It's the faction of um it's like you can be on two different timelines working through the exact same energy frequencies or the same dilemmas, right? And there's this point in the in between where there's this co-collaborative, like, honoring of the journey of what each person has done, knowing that there is an overlap in said process. Does that make sense? Somebody may be a little further along in their journey, although it seems like it's definitely the exact same, right? I think it's like kind of like through the pause, you're going to realize how much you truly have in common with another person. Yeah, they're just showing me it's like through the journey, like through whatever you're working through as you trust, um, you're going to understand specifically like what's going to shift your heart center. It's going to be really obvious. I don't know. There's a vibrational frequency through whatever's being released. I'm going to leave that there. Yeah. If something in this resonated with you, please give it a like, a comment, a subscribe. And if you would like a reading or a healing, and everything's below. But I hope that you feel a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, a little bit more in your body. I hope you got something that you needed to hear. And just keep shifting. Just keep shifting. And whatever's in the liver, you're going to have to get to the root of that, right? So maybe that's something that you'll be journaling over the next couple of weeks. Until next time, be well. Ciao.